Hi, my name's Cherie. This two-part series is in support of those of you out there that are trying to love someone that is suffering from trauma or abuse. Veteran or mom, it doesn't matter. I want to give you validation and I want to give you some hope. So I'm reaching out to you today because, as you know, they can't always see it. And in the moments that they do, you need to be ready to offer something different. So the first and foremost, take a bow. You're amazing. You're the one here doing the research. You're the glue. You're the rock, right? They just can't see it. Because this chaos, this struggle is their normal. Their default programming, right, is that people fight, people say hurtful things, people hit, love hurts. And if we just very quickly take a look at the chakra system, each chakra develops in 7-year increments, and there's 7 the main ones that run up through the core of our body, right? Well, that very first chakra was developed at 7 years old, right? So the experiences of the first years create our default programming. Those experiences and the choices that were the result color the way we interact with the world, period. It's almost as if you're speaking a different language at times, right? And we'll come back to this in the next video when we talk about all this from the how and why it happens, but this is in support of you. I lived it, and so did my family. They suffered because I suffered. So don't minimize you in all of this. You have to take care of you first. And here's the thing, a victim is just as narcissistic and inflicts just as much pain as the abuser. Unfortunately, it's just a different kind. So you can have understanding, you can have empathy, you can have compassion, but this is affecting you. Love does not change that. The I'm sorry's don't change that, right? I watched my kids' shoulders slump with worry. You know, kids should not have to feel responsible for their parents' well-being. They should not, right? And I remember being crumbled in the floor of my first home, right? I was married, I moved to Colombia. Life was great, our lives were busy. I worked in this really amazing salon here in town, and my husband taught at a conservatory. He was an actor, right? Life was full. And then I got pregnant, and the flashbacks started. And my whole world began to shake. Memories were flooding in. I cried all the time. I wanted to be different. I wanted to make different choices, right? But I doubted myself as a human being, as a person, right? And then the what ifs start. What if I can't? What if I don't know how? What if, right? And then suddenly I was triggered by everything around me, right? My husband's touch, his voice, his movements. He was an actor, so his hands flew around all the time, right? I'd get up at night and be huddled in the bathroom, in the dark, in the corner, right? Before long, he became the enemy. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't say anything, right? Because most of the time I felt like this very small child trying to be a grown-up, which in reality on a level was true. So back to the beginning, right? My daughter's born. Does she feel safe with me? Absolutely not. I didn't feel safe with her. She cried all the time, right? So I was constantly threatening to leave, to run away. I just wanted to be erased. I was sure, absolutely sure, that I was no good for anybody, especially her, right? And I filled night after night with tears, yelling, accusations, all pointed at him. But in reality, they were about me, right? Myself. He couldn't change it, no matter how much he loved me. And so one night, my daughter's 7 months old, playing in the floor. I'm huddled across the room, consumed by suffering, crying, right? And she learned to walk that day, to pat me on the back, to comfort me, her mom, right? And on that day, she learned that I was weak. She learned that I was broken. And she assumed the responsibility of protection for me. Now, this is one story of years of their lives, right? Years of my life. So my biggest gift to you is validation. It is not you, right? So, does your loved one suffer from depression, anxiety, scattered thoughts, fits of inappropriate, seemingly inappropriate emotion, right? Circular, looping thoughts, right? Do they have trouble sleeping? Nightmares, right? Are they sick all the time? Autoimmune problems are very common. And these are just a few of the top symptoms that most have when they're suffering from past traumas. They're diffused, they're scattered, literally. Their programming is faulty. So really, there's no need for you to try to make sense of it. You know, trying to make sense of it is like, you know, taking the audio of one movie and playing it over the film of another, right? Nothing's going to make sense. So what do? Here's a simple one. Get a bell, like a meditation bell or, you know, a bowl or a gong, something that will vibrationally shift the energy of the room at a moment when things are exploding, right? Now you need to set this up beforehand. A time, most prime time would be right after an incident, right? When things are fresh, right? And the I'm sorry's are coming in, or the I'll do anything, right? Use that moment. We're gonna create a place of safety for the next time. So when either party rings the bell, the expectations are disengage, go for a walk. Create a space in your house that is sacred, right? Off limits. If you want to set a time ahead of time, that's your choice. Say 30 minutes of uninterrupted space on both sides, right? This will give you both a momentary reset, right? Now I want you to know that there is hope. It can be resolved. And as we talk further and you have a clear understanding, you'll see that there is a clear, easy path leading straight to that life that you want. So again, I'm Cherie, and you can find more at CherieDoyen.com. Thanks so much for watching.